They viewed the caliphate of Yazid as illegitimate, lacking the moral authority that was essential for such leadership. It was amidst this atmosphere of unrest that the people of Kufa turned their eyes toward Hussein bin Ali, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To them, Hussein was the living embodiment of truth, justice, and the Prophet's legacy. They saw in him a leader who could restore the principles of governance that they so yearned for. One after another, the letters began to flow from Kufa toward Makkah, where Hussein resided. These were not mere casual invitations. They were heartfelt pleas, sealed with promises of allegiance and support. The people of Kufa urged Hussein to come to them, assuring him that tens of thousands stood ready to rise at his command. The messages were filled with assurances that they had rejected Yazid's rule and awaited Hussein's arrival to lead them in establishing a caliphate based on justice and the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The flood of correspondence grew so great that bundles of letters were delivered to Hussein daily. The writers swore their loyalty and pledged that their swords would defend him, that they would sacrifice all for his cause. They painted a picture of a populace yearning for liberation, ready to overturn the injustice of the Umayyads and restore rightful leadership. Yet, amid these promises and calls to action, Hussein remained cautious. He was no stranger to the politics of Kufa. He knew well the fickleness of its people, who in the past had failed to stand firm in times of trial, as seen during the caliphate of his father, Ali. As these messages reached Hussein, so too did the voices of the senior companions. Men like Abdullah ibn Abbas and Abdullah ibn Zubair, among the wisest and most experienced of the Prophet's companions, sought to counsel him. They warned Hussein with words heavy with concern, urging him to consider carefully before setting out toward Iraq. Ibn Abbas, in particular, reminded Hussein of the treacherous nature of the Kufans. He recounted how they had failed to support Ali when he most needed them, and how they had left him vulnerable before his enemies. Ibn Abbas pleaded with Hussein not to trust the lofty promises written in ink, for those who wrote them might not have the courage to honor them in the face of real danger. Abdullah ibn Zubair added his voice, urging caution and restraint. These were not mere political calculations. These were sincere pleas born out of love for Hussein and deep knowledge of the volatile nature of the situation. Yet Hussein, ever a man of deep spirituality,